Welcome back, Scott Ferrell Show. Thank you so much for being part of my day. Now, remember, if you got your coffee, you got your Christy, you've been by to see her, your day's going great. Keep in mind, started out with some gratitude, and we are all good. Now, my next guest is Thomas Bahler. Yes, he's a songwriter, he's a composer, he's an arranger, a producer. But you know what he is? He's one of the most wonderful people I think I've ever met. And he's got stories that just brighten your day. I tell people, yeah, you can learn a lot about music from this man, but you can learn way more about life and what life really means and desire and your dreams and how, yes, go after that dream. Do that thing that you've always wanted. As I was talking earlier about the me culture, Tommy Bahler is one of the guys I think of when I think of not the me culture. He is the example. He is the show me, don't tell me. It is, if you've got a dream, you go after it, you conquer it. Hey, and the great thing is about his life, you go make new ones. Thomas Bahler, thank you so much for being part of the show today.
It's great to see you, Scott.
Man, it's always so much fun to have you on because you always just make me feel better.
Well, that's good to hear.
All right, I wanted to jump into something. I've been talking about mom, dad, and where the millennials are going and what's going on in our country. And I always try to tell people it starts at home. You sat on the couch with me one time in Las Vegas, and we talked about your dad and what your dad meant to you and John, and the example he laid out for you guys. Can you give me a little background story on your dad?
Yes, my father was a sage, and I was lucky to have him as a father. He was a father, a mentor, and I was fortunate enough to, excuse me, to grow up in a family that encouraged me to listen to what came to me. When I would say as a little boy, I'd say, "Dad, I have an idea." He would say, "Son, this dream picked you." And as I was growing up, I was encouraged, first of all, given permission to listen to what was coming my way. When I had an idea, as I said, he would say, "This dream picked you." And I say, "Why did it pick me?" He said, "I don't think we need to know why, but we have free will. So if this idea came to you, an idea remains an idea until it bonds with a human. And you have free will, so if an idea comes to you and you decide not to act on it, that's okay. It'll go down to someone else. But it came to you for a reason." So because of that very simple sort of discovery with him, I listen to what comes my way. So if I wake up in the morning with the song, I write it down. That's my job. If I wake up in the morning with a story, I write it down. That's my job. And it's given me a wonderful peace in my life where I listen and I act. I do not question. But here's the great caveat to that, is that I also discovered with my father that my heart is my best barometer. So my feelings dictate what I do. If something comes to me and it doesn't feel good, I don't do it. If something comes to me and it does feel good, I do it. These are very simple concepts, but in my life, they've been very powerful.
Yeah, and your story when you were telling me about your dad, and it moved me to tears to hear about it. And you've got an academy. Is it What You Wants You Academy? Would that be true?
Yes.
Can you give me a little background on that?
Well, I wrote this book called What You Want Wants You. All of this started with my grandmother, my father's mother. And so many philosophies are born out of tragedy.
Right.
Because the human spirit, I believe, when we are crushed, there's something in us. And in our relationship to the world, I call it the universe. You can call it God or Allah or whoever you want to. But for me, I that's their labels anyway for me. And So I believe when something happens to us, the greatest tragedies of my life have been also the greatest moments of change for me. And this is what happened to my grandmother. She was 27 years old, very happily married, very much in love with my grandfather. He contracted typhoid fever and in 2 days was dead.
Wow.
And she had a little 6-year-old boy who was my dad. And she played the pity party like all of us. This is human nature. Why me? I was a good wife. I'm a good mother. How could this ever happen to me? And she said the answers that came were useless. And she wasn't sure how or why. But at one point, she asked herself, what do I want? And she was now in a conversation with herself. And the answer was, I want my husband back. And that went on to, well, that's not going to happen. Now what do you want? Well, I want to stay home with my little boy. Well, that's doable. What are you going to do about that? And she said, well, I like numbers. So she took a correspondence course, what it would be like taking an online course today, in accounting, and got her certificate. And went to the business owners in their little town where they lived and said, you know, I'd love to do your books. If you'll bring them by on a Tuesday night, I'll have them ready for you Wednesday morning. And the business people said to her, they were all men at that time. They said, you know, Lillian, we'd love to work with you. I'm sure you have something good going, but I've been with Jake, you know, for 10 years and I wouldn't feel right about leaving him. And she understood that. She went home and asked herself, what do I want? I want to do their books. What are you going to do about it? And she thought, I'm going to talk to the wives. Well, it took, in about 2 months, she had their business. And she learned from all this process that when she declares what she wants, if it serves others, she gets it. That's the way I was raised. My father would talk to me about that too.
Wow.
So anytime I'm challenged, I ask myself, what do I want? And this process starts. It takes us out of indecision. It takes me out of indecision and puts me on the road to possibility.
Now, if people want to get involved with this, can they go to your website, thomasbahler.com?
Yes, they can. And at the moment, we're in the middle of redesigning the website, but the product is available. I have a course. It's called What You Want, Want You. It's an 8-week video course. And I'm on camera for every course from the beginning to the end. I take you on tours with me and just basically explain this philosophy that has worked so well for us and our family and to others with whom I've shared it. And you go to thomasbahler.com. I also have a gift for your for your listeners or watchers, for your audience. If you go to my website, thomasbahler.com, you can download an audio book of What You Want, Want You as a gift. So I invite you to do that. Amazon has the book, What You Want, Want You. And it's wonderful to be a part, to share things that are important to us, to me.
Right.
As a person from my family, and find that it affects other people in the same way.
Oh yeah, it's moving, it's powerful. Go to thomasbahler.com. That's his website. Also, go to Amazon. Check out everything he's done. Now, when I get back with Thomas, we're going to talk about the career he had in the music business and some of the really, I think, really cool projects and the people he got to work with. And the great thing is, you work with these amazing artists. But I've met this gentleman. I can tell you right now, the effect he had on them was so powerful, just like the one I have with me. Thomas, you've got a guy you've been working with, right, lately?
Yes, you know, Jeff Marks has become a great friend of mine. If you're a fan of Broadway, he created Avenue Q, which played on Broadway for 10 years. It's still playing off Broadway. Fantastic musical. He also is the creator of Book of Mormon, which is one of the biggest musicals in history. And And Jeff and I met at an event and became good friends. And he wrote a song called "You Have More Friends Than You Know."
Right.
And it was a beautiful song. Jeff has got a heart the size of Texas. He's a brilliant man. He's a funny man. He is a philosopher.
Oh, cool.
And he had read an article that discussed the excuse me.
All right, Tommy, we've got to go to break. Can we save the rest
Oh,
of the story for a second? But I want to hear it. All right, if you got any questions for Thomas, questions at scottferrell.com, 706-889-9700. I'm Scott Ferrell. He's Thomas Bailey. We promise we'll be right back.
El Rey and Elegy.
El Rey Mexican Restaurant.
Family owned and operated, and a local favorite for families, parties, and meetings.
Great prices.
Friendly service and delicious Mexican cuisine.
Patio dining available.
Come sing in Carlos's Cantina every Friday 9 to 1.
Eat in or take away.
Same location for 14 years. Open 7 days at the corner of Maddox Drive and 515. North Georgia's favorite Mexican cuisine. El Rey and Elegy.
Introducing Pizza Hut's first $5 flavor menu. Just $5 each when you order 2 or more. Say yes to a medium one-topping pizza. Yes to Wing Street Wings. Yes to new stuffed garlic knots. And much more. It's easy to say yes to our first ever $5 flavor menu. Only at Pizza Hut.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East Ellijay. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
The 50-50 sale is back at Schottenkirk Ford.
50 trucks must go in the next 50 hours.
Shop over 250 trucks in stock and starting as low as $79.95.
And there's several more on the lot just like it.
Yes, 50 trucks must go, and not just Fords. We have all the best makes and models.
You have 50 hours to cash in on huge savings.
Don't miss our 50-50 sales event at Schottenkirk Ford in Jasper. Online at SchottenkirkFordJasper.com.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
I'm Sheriff Dane Kirby, and I'll stand up for you.
I'm Stacy Nicholson, Sheriff of Gilmer County, and I will stand up for you.
Stand up and speak out. No matter how rich, cool, talented you believe yourself to be, how you treat people ultimately tells all. I am Allison Sosby, District Attorney, and I'll stand up for you.
While the best athletes gather to compete, the rest of us gather to eat. Pizza Hut's Big Flavor Dipper is here. Almost 2 feet of pizza with 4 flavorful dipping sauces. Big enough to feed the whole team for a small price, just $12.99. The Big Flavor Dipper Pizza, only at Pizza Hut.
The summer sell-down is on at Days Chevrolet in Jasper. And if you like to save, the time is now. Get a brand new Chevy Malibu for just $19,700. Loaded Silverado Crew Cab LT, just $33,500. Or a new 2017 Equinox from just $23,700. Days has bonus savings on every new Chevy. But time is running out. Don't miss the summer sell-down at Days Chevrolet in Jasper.
Better days ahead, Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
Welcome back, Scott Ferrell Show. Thank you so much for making us part of your day. My guest, Thomas Bahler. Let me go ahead and give you that website. It will be a blessing to your life. ThomasBahler.com. Currently, getting a little work done on the site. Don't be dismayed. You can still look him up on Google, Amazon, you name it, it's there. But make sure once the site's done, it'll be done in a couple days, go ahead, run by, see what he's got to offer. He's got a What You Want You Academy. I know the guy. I know he's legit. You want to sign up for whatever he's got. It'll be a blessing to your life. Now, Thomas, when we left, we were talking about a project and a friend of yours and all of his accomplishments. Can we finish that story?
Yes. Jeff Marks and I become good friends, and he wrote this song a couple of years ago. It was on Glee. It was first heard on Glee. He read an article that talked about the inordinate percentage of young gay people who commit suicide because they feel so isolated, and that touched his heart. And he wrote a beautiful song called "You Have More Friends Than You Know." And the song has gone viral, and Glee did a great job on it, and he wanted to do his version of it, so he asked me to produce it on him, and it's just grown and grown and grown. We just did a Spanish version with a brand new group from Cuba. They're called Mano a Mano, and that's grown. And now Jeff has a dream of putting together a 10,000 voice choir that we're going to do virally and on the internet of this song. And it's a beautiful song about love and acceptance. So I'm happy to be working with him on that. I'm enjoying it very much.
Very cool project. Now we're talking about working with people. You've got a pretty good list of guys you worked with, from Michael Jackson, Quincy Jones, Elvis, Frank Sinatra, Diana Ross, and Cher. So many people probably ask, what was it like to work with Michael Jackson?
Well, it's extraordinary. Michael was the most dedicated, the most talented, the most visionary artist that I have worked with. And I worked with him from the time he was 13 until he passed away. And his work ethic was like none other. In 39 years, I never heard one negative remark from Michael. Everything was always moving forward.
Right.
I have an idea. He wouldn't say, that doesn't work. He'd say, I have an idea. And he'd bring us along with him. And he was a lovely, lovely human being. Great prankster, great sense of humor, and a visionary way beyond the music business.
Yeah. Amazing story. I saw. I've seen every documentary I think I can